Hello everyone, this is my review for Monday Night Raw on September 29th, 2014, and hard to say with this Raw, because there were some really good segments, but the problem was, most of it had to do with, the whole Seth Rollins storyline, with him, Randy Orton and Kane, or him and John Cena, or him and Dean Ambrose. Those were probably the best ones. I'll get into that a little bit later on. Just starting out the show, they had 3 different Divas matches throughout the night, which, you know, they are what they are and everything. It's not saying that having 3 Divas matches on the show is a bad thing. It's just none of them did anything for any progression of storyline in any way whatsoever. I mean, with the Rosa Layla match, that was just, you know, not even really furthering on, just really continuing on with the whole Natalya's mentoring Rosa as she comes back and trying to redeem herself type deal. So no real progression there. Same with the Bellas feud. The only real difference is that, you know, Nikki was trying to finally get back at Brie a little bit because she got stuck in all the handicap matches when Brie was gone, but that backfired. And they don't even seem to even let Nikki have the advantage in that feud anymore, as it is. It's kind of a one-sided feud at this time. And then you had the AJ Lee and Alicia Fox match, because Alicia Fox is now going to be, or, you know, Paige brings her out as her new best friend type deal, and they were just looking for a reason to get Paige, you know, over for the week, because they had been kind of pushing AJ over her a little bit more, so they needed to counterbalance that and let Paige get over for once, and that's what they went for. But otherwise, no real progression in any of their storylines. And then you had the segment with Adam Rose and the Bunny. They're on commentary, and then you have Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil with the Slater Gator versus the Los Matadores. Now Slater Gator has Hornswoggle dressed up in an alligator suit, and yeah, the whole segment was just stupid. And it was pretty much just the further on is like who's the bunny type deal, or who's under the bunny suit type deal with Adam Rose. So we'll see where you'll see who they finally reveal that to be as. There are certain people I hope it's not, and then we'll just see who they are, and then I'll say whether or not they were the ones I was hoping they wouldn't be. Mark Henry has gone from going against Rusev, and this seems to be the new obligatory thing now. If you go into a feud with Rusev and then you lose, which is what seems like everyone's going to be doing, at least for the time being, with how they're pushing the Rusev character, you'll immediately go into a feud with Bo Dallas, because Bo Dallas did the exact same shtick he did with Jack Swagger with Mark Henry, and then of course that led into their match, and them starting out where now Bo Dallas gets the victory over Mark Henry, just kind of trying to push it where, you know, maybe Mark Henry's at his end point in his career, or he's just in a big losing streak type deal. And then of course the subsequent backstage segment where Mark Henry kind of did a heelish type area by attacking Bo Dallas after the match. So we'll see where they go with that, if they're going to try to turn Bo Dallas face in this way, or if they're even just if it was just one of those things where the face is showing a bit of frustration and takes it out on the person he just lost to. This actually does bring to the next deal with Rusev, which was them addressing the whole Big Show, the whole portion of the Big Show storyline from what went down with SmackDown, where Rusev gets knocked out and everything like that. You know, for the most part, the segment was actually good. Only problem I have with the segment, and this is just because how I personally am. I do not like desecration of flags of any nationality. So seeing Big Show pull down the Russian flag off of the thing, I honestly, personally don't like it. That's just me on a personal level. Obviously, of course, living here in America, you can say or do what you want, so you can do something like that. but not everybody's necessarily going to have to like it. But I'm not going to go overly crazy overboard. I personally don't like it, but I'm sure there were people either people in the crowd or people watching that did at least get some enjoyment out of it. I personally don't like watching stuff like that, but that's just me on that one. I think that's pretty much everything outside of the deal with Seth Rollins, which took up a fair amount of the show. They started off the show with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H coming out there saying that they're gonna get the Money in the Bank briefcase back from Dean Ambrose. Obviously, it's shown that Dean Ambrose is backstage and everything tells him to come get it. And so as it seemed like that was going to be the end of the segment, John Cena comes out and starts attacking Seth Rollins to continue on with their portion of the storyline from the Night of Champions pay-per-view and the interference in the championship match. Which did lead to them trying to, like the segments where they had Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury going out there to try to find Dean Ambrose. Those were actually fairly entertaining skits, especially the ones with Triple H in them, and then having Jamie Noble get caught with mustard on his. With mustard on his face and everything. It was like, what, were you at the concession stands eating instead of doing your job type deal? I found those fairly entertaining, which also led into the segment out of the ring where Dean Ambrose comes out with a duffel bag, which turned out to be just stuff from the merchandise booth and the Money in the Bank contract. I found that entire segment very entertaining, especially with how Dean Ambrose was portraying himself. In this segment, and I don't know if it became more evident that like Dean Ambrose is almost like the Deadpool of the WWE. Just with the comments he was saying and everything, it just kind of was breaking fourth walls in a subtle, nonchalant way. Like the comment he made when Jamie Noble and Mercury come out there is like, oh, it looks like they sent the Cruiserweight division after me. It was stuff like that in there that actually, it just made that segment very entertaining, which of course did lead to the match with Dean Ambrose, John Cena versus Randy Orton and Kane, and that led in with two other backstage segments. The one with Randy Orton and Kane, of course, not liking the fact that they seem to have to keep putting out Dean Ambrose's or not Dean Ambrose, but Seth Rollins fires and everything, and deal with his problems. And then the interview with John Cena. I like the interaction between Cena and Dean Ambrose. The rumor is that they're going to try to put them two in a match, and then the winner faces Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view. And they definitely came off very well. It's like you could feel tension between them. It's like these two should be having a match at some point. And it came off really well in that interview segment. The match itself wasn't all that great. Nothing special there. I did like the fact that, Seth Rollins had been running away, and not getting, the baby faces have been getting over and over throughout the night and through the past few weeks. It was good to see that they allowed Seth Rollins to end the night on the high note by getting the curb stomp on both of them. Both Cena and Ambrose were laid out this week. I thought it was a good way of going. But that was, for the most part, the only good portions of the show. Now, luckily, that was pretty much most of the show. Other than that, the show was pretty bad. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll see, of course, the progression of how they're going to be dealing with Cena and Ambrose, and then of course you have Cena and Rollins, and Ambrose and Rollins, and then they of course have the little snippet in there with Paul Heyman doing the interview at the beginning of cutting the promo at the beginning of the segment, of seeing who's Brock Lesnar's problem. Is it Rollins or is it the Authority? So you have that interaction in there, potentially down the road when the next time Brock Lesnar comes in. And we'll see where they go. We'll see where they go with those other storylines. They haven't been looking good recently, and yeah, that's my review this week for Monday Night Raw. And I thank you guys for watching.